Hello, good morning, good day, good night, good evening. This is Claire from Claire's Culinary Adventures. Today I'm going to make puff pastry, but it's rough puff pastry. There are two ways to make puff pastry. I'm doing rough puff because it's quicker, it's easier, and you achieve the same result. So why bother with the long way? Anyway, puff pastry is created when you put flour, butter together with some water, and you make a dough. Then you have to roll and fold, and it creates layers. Puff pastry, even though you don't know what it is, by eating croissants, tarts, among other things. There's a lot of stuff that you can use. Also, you could use patties are made with it. I'm making the dough today, but in my other recipes coming up, I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with the dough. One is going to be a savory dish, and I call it fish in drawers. Actually, it was made by my cookery teacher years ago when I attended Karen Hall Vocational School in Jamaica. So let's start the process of making the dough. I'm going to use, this is going to be 2 teaspoons. Well, I'm going to use 1.5 teaspoons of salt, not 2, for my purpose, for what I'm doing today. But I've doubled the recipe. So 1.5 teaspoons of salt and a pack of butter, which is a pound of butter. And I've cut it up into small pieces. And I had it in the freezer actually, just so you need everything very cold. So I'm, breaking them up because they're stuck together right now. Breaking them up. I want large pieces of butter still in the mixture, not melted. Because that's gonna help. It's gonna help to create a better dough. Keeping everything cool. Some people put the container. I mean, I had ice water in this a while ago. I make it very cold water, very cold butter. And if you want, you can put the flour in the fridge to have everything very cold, right? Because your hand get warm by kneading. Coming to, you have to have patience with this, but as I said, this is much better to do it this way. The other way, you have to flatten some butter, put it in the freezer and get it very cold. Then you do some a dough with flour and water, cold water with the salt, and same amounts, but you do the butter and the flour dough separate, and then you have to put it in the fridge and take it out a couple times. And even with this one, if the butter is melting too much, I'll have to. You don't want it in the fridge, but this, even if it looks dry right now, it might not really be, because as I said, when the butter melts, it's gonna be a totally different dough when you get everything formed. And you want these big pieces, big chunks of butter. Squeeze everything together. And some will fall out. You just stick it back in and squeeze. And get it to dough form, because I want to roll this out. And today I'm using my big rolling pin that I use when I'm doing fondant and other things, because I want it to be cold. The other plastic one I have is, I think I have 2 other ones, a wooden one and a plastic one, but this one keeps cooler. See, this is what I'm using today. Let's put some of this stuff away, since I don't need them anymore. And we're gonna try to roll this out. So I'm gonna put a dusting of flour still here. I'm about ready to start folding the dough. You know, I flatten it out as much, not too flat. You don't want it too flat. But I've rolled it. And now I'm gonna do my first turn. So each of these are called turn. I'm gonna do 3. And believe me, this you turn this up right there, 1. And then you fold this over. And this is called a turn. So I'm gonna do 2 turns right now. And then possibly I might have to put it in the fridge. Then you turn it around. And then you roll the opposite way. And you try to squeeze anything that is not together. The butter is there trying to push itself out. And this butter is getting kind of soft, so definitely I'm going to put it in the fridge for a little while. You know, sometimes you got to lift it like this and fold it. I don't want to. That's 1 turn we did. I'm gonna just put this, squeeze it together. Not even gonna roll it out because I'm gonna put it in a bag and put it in the fridge to cool again. Alright, so this is basically the recipe. But when I'm gonna make all my sweet stuff and the fishing drawers and whatever, I'll show you those. I think I'll do those tomorrow. Since this pastry, you can leave it in the fridge after you make it for 3 days, or in the freezer for 3 months. So you can make it in advance. If you're making stuff for your family, you know, you can make it in advance of the time when you're going to make this stuff. And I'm going to show you quite a few different things that you're going to make with this stuff. I just want to make sure it's floured properly and everything is together. So anything, turn it over, squeeze it together so that it don't separate when you take it out. And I'm going to just, and this is it. This is puff pastry. Easy. The rough puff pastry made easy. And when I cut it, you're going to see all the folds set. All the folds are going to be there. But I'm not cutting it now because I don't want to spoil the fold. So I'm going to put it in a bag. And in the freezer it goes. This had the butter. I'm just going to put it in this same bag. It's very delicate. So, all right. It's a mess right now, but I'm gonna clean this up. So there you go. This is puff pastry, how you make puff pastry. And I'm gonna show you pictures of a few things that I've made and other things that you can make with puff pastry. And the most delicate dough you can make. Thanks for watching.